You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the episode. Today it's the Outspoken Network here, Sportscast edition. We got episode 188. Brian going solo here for you. It's Life After Football edition because, yes, sadly, the NFL is over. We have crowned that king of the mountain and the Chiefs and Super Bowl champions. So we're going to get on here and talk a little bit about the MLB rule changes as we get ready for the MLB season to start. We're going to go through the rule changes that they made in Major League Baseball. We got the headlines of the week. We got some more baseball information as guys are showing up to the camp there, and we have some football news as well. Right after this, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back in. We got episode 188. Like I said, we're going to go over the MLB rule changes real quick here and talk a little bit about that. And look, I don't know if you guys are excited about Major League Baseball and how well of a sport or how popular of a sport it is to you. Like, NFL is my number one, and baseball's probably number two. For me, I really like it. I'm a Texas Ranger fan. I'm excited about the pitching staff this team's put together this year. I think analytics have come in and changed this game a lot and for the negative way, but I'm hoping these MLB rule changes up the game a little bit here. So we're going to get into that a little bit. MLB is getting rid of the shift, and I love this move. It's been the lowest batting average in Major League Baseball since 1968. And they have essentially the baseball's turned into a home run or strikeout type of game. You're not going to get a lot of balls in play, not a lot of people on bases. They want a home run instead of putting the ball in play. And people were able to look at, okay, this batter pulls the ball how many percentages of the time? How much does this batter pull the ball a lot? And people to put people and shift players into those positions where they were probably more than likely going to either strike out, fly out type of thing. And it allowed defenses to have the advantage in baseball. And I didn't like it one bit, but they're trying to get the ball in play more, right? They're trying to add some more excitement to the game. And the more balls in play, the better, defensive plays you're going to make, diving catches and stuff like that. More people on the base paths, and it's going to add up to more exciting baseball. Home runs are exciting in baseball, yes, but when that's all there is really is a home run, it's kind of boring at one point. And I can look at it and say, okay, I can see why someone might think this game is boring. So I think they're trying to I think the rule changes, they're trying to finagle the way, getting back into having more fans. And getting more viewership by changing some of the things that people have been complaining about and things like that. So getting rid of the shift for me, I really, really like it. They are adding a pitch clock, and they've done what I like about Major League Baseball is, and they're smart with it, is when they make a change, they test it out in the minor leagues first, and they see if it's made a change. And when it has made a change that they think is going to better the game, they move it on up to the Major League Baseball. So that's why this is happening. With a pitch clock, pitchers will have 15 seconds to throw the ball with bases empty and 20 seconds with runners on base. Now, they get an extra 5 seconds of runners on base because you pitch from, your pitching changes up a little bit and you're changing your motion up, and they're giving you a little more 5 seconds there to kind of, get your bearing, I guess. See if you want to pick off the first base or wherever they're at on the base pass. So that's going to be great for the pitchers, or for the pace of play is really why this is kind of changed. It's obviously trying to shorten the game so they're not so long. This, what a lot of people say is that why would I watch the whole game? There's 162 of them. They're 4 hours long. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to shorten it. Pitchers can be charged with a ball if the pitcher's not started to throw throw to the plate within that time frame. So they can be penalized for that. And also, not only that, hitters can be given a strike if they try to delay as well. If they're trying to delay the pitcher from starting that clock and getting the pitch off, they can actually be penalized as well as a strike. The average game time has been about 3 hours and 4 minutes. With the pitch clock in the minors, the games have averaged 2 hours and 39 minutes, and that's a pretty big drop right there in helping the game of pace. And I think that will help a lot. Instead of in between each pitch, the pitchers are out there doing their thing, doing their own ritual and rubbing the dirt and, adjusting their crotch or whatever they're doing, spitting, whatever it is. They got 15 seconds to throw the ball and 20 seconds with base runners on. So that's something that's going to become coming to the Major League Baseball as well. And then also pickoffs have changed. Pitchers are now only allowed 2 pickoffs per plate appearance without penalty. So they've been giving 2 pickoff plays. And I like this rule. I hated that, they get a runner on, they pick them off, they try and pick them off 5 times in a row. Then they throw a really fast pitch on the outside in case he runs, and then they're picking them off some more. It really slows down the game, and kills the pace of play. And at one point, you're like, all right, well, you're obviously not going to get them. Just come on, throw the freaking ball. If a pitcher does a third pickoff, it will be considered a balk unless one offensive player advances a base or the out is recorded. So if the pitcher forgets about the rule and tries to pick off someone for a third time and they don't get the out, or the offensive player advances a base because maybe the pitcher threw it away, it's considered a balk, and that player will be moving to second base regardless. So I like that to it, because if you're trying to third pickoff play, you better be pretty sure you're going to get him out, or it's an automatic base. So I kind of like that. If you pick him off, it's like, okay, well, you did it, you got him. There's not going to be any any penalties coming. So I do like that about it. If you do get him, then kudos to you. You did it. You did it, right? You proved that you could get him picked off of first or second base, wherever it may be. And I like that you're taking that chance. Okay, I didn't get him. It's a balk. He goes to second base. Or so I do like that about it. And baseball's been concerned with the lack of base runners. And, like I said, it's either a home run or strikeout league. Ever since analytics have come into the league and taken over, it's been either I want you to hit a home run, or like they don't like singles. Single does nothing for me. They changed up the way the batting lineups are changed, because of this stuff, and they're really concerned with lack of base runners. So the stolen bases skyrocketed in the minors with this rule. It allows players to take bigger leads and bigger leads on the base pass and risk it a little bit, risk it for the biscuit a little bit more. And I love the rule. In my overall thought on the rule changes, I think this is exactly what baseball needs. They worried about base runners. They're worried about balls in play. They're worried about base runners and exciting plays and taking the defense advantage away a little bit more and allowing the offense to put the ball and play more and be able to be more aggressive on the base pass. And I love it. I love it. These are the kind of rules that we need to see for baseball. And I think you might see an uptick in baseball and in watching these games and coming back to the game of baseball. And there's certain eras in sports, right, that you feels better than others. Like I feel like I missed the best era of basketball, right? I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 88. I didn't see a lot of Michael Jordan in his heyday. I didn't see the tough Michael Jordan Piston matchups. I didn't see Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and all that. I didn't see them play. And then to me, that was the prime era of basketball. Baseball, I did grow up and I was able to see the home run chases. I was able to see Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and how people would turn on their TV just to watch these guys play, regardless if they were your baseball team or not. And we were tracking the number, and it was everywhere, and it got more fans to the game of baseball. And I got to see that, and that was fantastic. And they're hoping to bring back some rules or to make some changes to bring back some fans to the game of baseball because they're not. I don't think they're hurting for money, obviously, but they're not getting the fan bases they want and the overall numbers they want. So they're making these changes to try to make it better for your viewing. You viewing the game, and they're trying to make these games where they're not so long. And because of football games are 3 hours, but a lot of people will sit down and watch football games 3 hours. And the science says there's not a lot of action in these. There's only 30 minutes of action in this 3-hour game or less. But it feels like a lot more because they're doing, it feels like a lot more than just, that time. Baseball can seem the opposite. You could go 9 innings of baseball and have a 1-run game. You can have things like that in baseball where it doesn't seem very exciting. And you can go, well, why would I watch a 3-hour game when I can go on the internet and I can watch the 3-minute highlight reel of baseball because the baseball season is so long. And maybe they change that next. I don't know. 162 games is a lot. But I do like these rules overall. I like where they're going with it. They're trying to bring more excitement to the game. And how do you do that? Well, you put the ball in play more. You put bases more runners on base. You stop giving the advantage to the defense. You want to go kind of back to kind of an old school baseball. And I'm excited to see it. I really am. And I hope you guys are too. Let me know if you guys like baseball, if you guys watch baseball like you used to. And I think the sports kind of died down a little bit on the overall numbers and percentage of people who watch the sport. But I still like baseball, and I'm excited about it, the season, being a Rangers fan and all that. But let me know if you like these changes or not, because I absolutely do, and I absolutely love them. I think they came in with the analytics and they've overcorrected, and now they're trying to okay, what do we need to put back in the major leagues? What do we need to try to be able to get fans back? And I like that they're trying to make changes because they know there's an issue instead of not doing anything about it. I respect that. So I really like what baseball's doing, and hopefully this brings back fans for baseball. But we're going to talk about the headlines of the week here. Now, since I just talked about baseball, we're going to talk about the baseball side of the headlines. And something broke this week that the arbitration hurt the relationship between the Brewers and their ace pitcher Burnes. Burns says it's something he will not get over. Like, this is not repairable. This is the Brewers' ace pitcher, fantastic pitcher, had really good numbers last year. Corbin Burns, that's his first name. That's what I'm looking for. He had really good stats last season. And this, if they do not retain him, would be a big loss for their pitching rotation. He had a 2.94 ERA, a WHIP of 9.97. He was 12-8 last season, 11-5 the season before with a 2.43 ERA, and a WHIP of 0.94. So this guy's a fantastic pitcher, and this is something in arbitration. Some words was exchanged and said about him from the management team there and the ownership group, trying to get a deal done. And he said this, it's disappointing and it cannot be fixed. And so they are probably more than likely going to have to end up trading Burns to somebody. And that's a big loss for the Brewers team. Texas Rangers, my team. I'm excited about this season. From all the moves they've made the last couple of years, the Texas Rangers' new pitcher, Jacob deGrom, had tightness in his side in the first day of workouts and was not able to go. Now, Rangers say it's very minor and they aren't worried about it. And this is something about deGrom. If you haven't watched baseball, don't know who Jacob deGrom is, go look him up. When he's healthy, which is the biggest question mark about him, he's the best pitcher in baseball. He's put up the numbers. He's put up his just video game numbers. Rangers went out and spent a lot of money on him. Us as fans go, hopefully he's healthy. This is not a good sign for the Texas Rangers. But Craig kind of pointed out on Facebook, on a Facebook post, social media post, that probably just a veteran pitcher getting out of working out in cold weather and not starting the training so early. So hopefully that's the case, because us Ranger fans have a lot of hope that deGrom is going to be ready to be able to play a long season for us. And I can't wait to see it. Pepsi. I love Pepsi. Anyways, I can't wait to see it. This pitching staff, this young group of hitters, the young farm system we have, and see this team grow, and our new GM, Chris Young, and we brought in Ian Kinsler back to be right there by Chris Young and helping him out. So I'm interested to see the moves they're going to make, and I'm interested to see how this coaching staff is going to be able to change some things up. I thought Chris Woodward kind of got a crappy end of the stick, but they went out and they got Bruce Bochy, and I'm not turning that deal down. So I'm excited. I think the Ranger fans are excited about the moves they've made. Some have questioned. The biggest question mark is Jacob deGrom, obviously, with that health. But I think, and we talked about this when it happened, that I'm not going. I've come out here and complained about the Texas Rangers never spending money. So when they spend money, I can't complain about it. And I kind of look at the same way when the Mavericks got Kyrie Irving. I killed Mark Cuban for not giving Luka any help. So I'm not going to kill him now when he gets him his help. So I'm optimistically excited. That's the words I'm going with the Texas Rangers this season. All right. Well, I just became a bigger fan of Derek Carr. And the Raiders cut Derek Carr ahead of the contract deadline. He had a deadline set in February for his contract that he did not get rid of him by this date. Then they would owe him I don't know how much money, it was a lot of money. And then they're like, we're not going to keep this guy here. So, and Derek Carr come out a couple weeks ago, said, I'm not moving that deadline back. This is the deadline, and that's it. And I love the move by Carr, because Carr says, look, I've given you all I had. I've given the city all I've had. I've been respectable. I've been a leader, and they want to get rid of me. Well, I'm not. He has a full no trade clause. So he came out and said, trade me anywhere, I'm not going to accept it. So you're going to have to cut me. So they did. They cut him without getting anything back for him. That's the worst thing you can do as a team in any sport. Have a big, huge, have a player that you can get people to trade for to get more picks and players or whatever was going to be given up for Derek Carr. Quarterbacks go for a high market rate. Okay, they just do. Derek Carr had plenty of teams out there meeting with him. He met with the Saints already. He has other suitors as well because he's a veteran quarterback who can play the football game, and he but the worst thing, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. The worst thing that a sports team can do is have a guy that you can get something back for, and he walks for nothing. That's just worse. I mean, that's what I said last season, the Packers should have traded Aaron Rodgers. Just coming off MVP, he still had a lot of value. We can trade him, get a lot back for him. That's how you start a rebuild. And we held on to Aaron Rodgers. He had a really crappy season, and now his value is not so high. I'm not saying Derek Carr just had a great season or anything, but letting a player walk without getting anything back for him, especially a quarterback in the NFL, is a terrible thing to do. So, good luck with the Raiders. Good luck with Derek Carr here. But I love the movie played. He played a power play. So I have the ultimate power play. You cannot trade me. I'm not moving anything back to help you guys out because you want me gone. And I've given everything I had to the city. And now you're going to pay the price. And that price is I'm going to walk out the door and you're not going to get anything in return. And he probably feels slighted because they just got Davante Adams, his best buddy, to come over there. Davante Adams has got to feel a little slighted because, hey, I came to play with Derek Carr. Now he's no longer here. So why would I want to stay? There's some problems going on in Vegas right now that they've got to fix. And I think, Davante Adams talked about it a little bit. He did come out and say he wants to stay there, though. So we'll see. We'll see if they can mend those fences. Who else is going to be their quarterback? Honestly, hot take style here, I think it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. He knows the Josh Daniels systems. 49ers have to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. It just makes a lot of sense for him to go there. Good luck to Derek Carr, though. And when I said good luck to the Raiders, I was kind of being sarcastic. Calvin Ridley applies for the reinstatement. Now, he applies for reinstatement. He got suspended because he was betting on football games. And we talked about this when it happened, obviously. But betting on the football games, betting in general, frowned upon by the NFL. Integrity of the game. If you mess with the integrity of the game, you will be punished more. That's in the discussion. You cannot have people thinking you're betting on games and throwing them or whatnot. Now, I know the whole NFL scripted crap is out there, but it's stupid. And if you believe that, I got a bridge I want to sell you as well. So, but the Jaguars are adding Ridley, Calvin Ridley on the field, there's no doubt he's one of the best. I mean, he's been one of the best wide receivers. He's been a great player for the Falcons, and then he got hurt, and then he got suspended. So, I'm really looking forward to this move by the Jaguars. They went out there, they took a risk on this guy, knowing he was going to be suspended. But look what the Jacksonville just did with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had his best season of his career, and adding another weapon to that offense is going to be something to watch out for next season. I think Jacksonville will be a better team than they were this season. Maybe play more consistently instead of trying to win 7 in a row and make the playoffs or whatever at the end of the season. They can start off a little better and put themselves in a better position next year. But this move is going to help Trevor Lawrence. And if he's reinstated by the NFL, Jacksonville more than likely has a really high chance, and never thought I would say this, of winning that division again. But it also depends on what the Tennessee Titans do at quarterback. It depends on what they do in Indy over there. So I just really think this is a great move for them. They took a risk on it, and look, sometimes you got to bank those risky moves. And I applaud the Jaguars for going out and getting rid of Urban Meyer. I applaud them for getting a quarterback friendly head coach. I applaud them for sticking with Trevor Lawrence. I applaud them for going out and getting Calvin Ridley and making an aggressive move and getting him over there. So I think it's going to work out fantastic for them. If Calvin really can stop gambling and get his cards right, then this is a fantastic move for Jacksonville, and they should reinstate him. The Bears have purchased a 326-acre Arlington Park property. They've been looking for a new stadium for a long time now. Their quarterback, as of now, is complaining about playing outside. It's hard to adjust, which I get. Playing in cold weather sucks. I don't like the cold either. And are they looking to build an indoor stadium? That probably would be best being in Chicago. But then do you take away the home field cold advantage? That's what I call it. Home field advantage is a thing. Being better prepared to play in cold weather can help you win games. It doesn't help Green Bay in Wisconsin, but it does. It can help your teams. And do they move? Their field has been crap for a long time, and they've been looking to move and get a better stadium and maybe indoors so the fan don't have to suffer and the team don't have to play in it. But this is a team that's been really bad. And they've got a big decision to make who they want to take in the first round. Do they want to move out? Are they going to take a quarterback? Do they stay with Justin Fields? I hope they do because he's not any good. And they have $94 million in cap space. That's what's good for them is they have a lot of money where they can go out and make a lot of moves. But the number one priority for them is figuring out what quarterback they're going with. And if you don't have a quarterback, you don't win football games. If you don't have a good quarterback, you don't win enough football games to get you where you want to go. This team has a lot of holes. This team needs a lot of fixing. They have the money to do it, but the number one pick is what you're going to do with it. That's the biggest question mark, and this quarterback. So you've got to figure out who you want as your quarterback, and if you're going to take a quarterback with your number one draft pick. But they have purchased the stadium land, the land for a future stadium, if so be it. And I think they probably should. That field has been garbage for a long, long time. Tampa Bay hires Dave Canales as their offensive coordinator. Dave came as the quarterback coach from Seattle. And this could be a great move for them because, this could have been it might have been a good move for them. We don't know, right? Future will tell that. But could he have been a big part of Geno Smith's comeback season? Being there in Seattle, he could have been. He could have been a huge reason being the quarterback's coach for Geno Smith's comeback season. And he could have peaked, hey, that's number one on my resume right here. Geno Smith was no longer good. I helped him become a good quarterback. And Tampa Bay obviously liked him in the interview, and there's new offensive coordinator. The Cardinals hire Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon to be their head coach, and then Shane Steichen is the new coach in Indy. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator. So the Eagles have taken quite a hit on their coaching staff. And that's what happens when you go to the Super Bowl, especially when you win the Super Bowl. A lot of your coaches get taken away from you because they know, he just coached the team here. He knows what it takes to get there. Let's interview him, or they like to interview him. Well, why not hire him? And a lot of teams do that. You look at a lot of like the Packers team that went with Brett Favre won the Super Bowl. There's like 8 head coaches on that staff that left and became head coaches, and so that's pretty interesting. Also, in another news of hiring, Baltimore Ravens hired Todd Monken to be their offensive coordinator. Monken is leaving Georgia. Now, I don't know why he would leave Georgia right now because they're headed for a dynasty out there, it looks like. They're headed for a dynasty, it looks like. but he's going to be the offensive coordinator. Now, I don't know if he thinks that excuse me. I don't know if he thinks that he's going to have Lamar Jackson or not. I don't know if they think he can work with Lamar. I don't know if Lamar said, "Hey, go get me this guy, and maybe I'll think about staying here." But I got a couple hot takes for you. All right, I got a couple hot takes for you, and I want to mark this down. I'm going to go ahead and type this out, mark it down. I think Lamar Jackson is going to go the Jets. And I don't think he stays in Baltimore. I think we've had this conversation before. I think I think he leaves. I think they're way off on a contract. That says they're $100 million away. And I'm betting against the odds because a lot of people probably say, "No, he's staying in Baltimore. Where else would he go? Who else would Baltimore get? They can't afford to get rid of him." Well, Baltimore, okay, is a team that's been really good at drafting for the most part. They're a really good run organization. They tend to win games more than they don't. And I think they could move on and say, "Hey, we could do better than this." Do they believe that Lamar Jackson can get them to the Super Bowl? Because I don't believe that. There's a lot of players that don't believe that, or a lot of coaches don't believe that. Maybe their offense was limited in Baltimore. Maybe that's why their offensive coordinator stepped down, because like he says, "I can't win with this guy. I can't come up with a pass heavy offense because Lamar Jackson can't do that." Right? I don't know, but I have a feeling that they're going to tag Lamar. Things are going to go down south. They're $100 million away from this contract. You add in the fact that Lamar basically quit on the team, and you can't convince me otherwise. This guy had an injury that took 3 to 4 weeks to heal. He was out 7 or 8 weeks. The team's doctors cleared him to play, and he said, "I'm not doing it." And that was basically a, "Hey, I'm not doing it because you didn't pay me a contract. I'm not doing it because why would I risk it?" And some may take his point of view, but you basically gave the middle finger to your teammates and said, "I'm not playing." They could have beat the Bengals the way the Bengals played in the playoffs, and I'm just disgusted if I'm a Ravens fan. And why would a team go out and pay you a guaranteed contract? That's what he wants. He wants a guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson got, because the Browns are probably going to end up regretting that decision to fully guarantee the contract. Why would they go out and pay that when the guy didn't show up for his team, when the guy looked like he quit on his football team, and a guy that's injured most of the time, a guy that you don't know how long he's going to last in the NFL. Running quarterbacks do not last in the NFL. They don't play 16, 17 games a season. So why would we fully guarantee it when we don't know what we're going to get? And do we honestly believe you're going to get us to where we want to go? I don't know. And they've got a tough decision to make. But I would love to see them make the tough decision and say, "Hey, we feel like this isn't going to work out." And the Jets, to me, would make a perfect choice. Not a perfect choice, be a perfect fit. They have the ammunition to go out and get them. They have the money, they have the ammunition to go out and make those trades, and no matter how he's tagged. And I think the Jets would fit perfectly. They've got a decent offense. They need a quarterback. They've got a defense. They've got a pretty good defense. I think it makes sense. The other thing that makes more sense than this, and I don't know if this is such a hot take, but I think Jimmy G is going to the Raiders. It makes sense. Josh Daniels' offense is set up there. Jimmy G's played quarterback for Josh Daniels. He's played quarterback in that system. It just makes sense. 49ers have to get rid of him. He won't be back. He can go there, have some pretty good offensive weapons, and they can build a team that way. And then they already have a team that's pretty talented. They've failed to live up to expectations this season, but they're a pretty talented football team. I think Jimmy G goes to the Raiders, and I'm not really sure that's a hot take. My first one's a hot take. Lamar to the Jets is a hot take. Jimmy G going to the Raiders is not a hot take. I just think it's something that's going to happen. So I'm going to post this out right now, right here, 4:13, February 17th on a Friday, at 34 minutes and 15 seconds into this episode. Mark it down. Call me crazy. Call me crazy, but I'm marking it down. I gotta get this hot. I need a hot takes board that we talk about and put that first one on there because that's a hot take, buddy. But come up with your own hot takes. Let me know about your hot takes if you have any out there, because I would like to hear them. You can email me at outspokensportscast at gmail.com. You can comment me on Facebook as well. That's pretty much all I have as far as news, headlines, and baseball rule changes here on this episode. It's episode 188. Let's see if we got anything else on here before we go. Derek Carr to visit with the Jets, it says here. So we'll see there. I wonder where he goes, Derek Carr, but I wish him all the best. He's a very respectable player. Let's see. All right. Well, that's going to be it for as far as the news goes and the headlines and everything else for this edition. Now, let me do a little bit what's in my locker. So, this has been an interesting week for me. At my job, I'm a commercial trash guy, and I run the commercial trash route, and I ran a route, and then I've been here 5 years, and then I became a swing driver, and swing drivers basically learn other routes, and they run those when needed, or they run them when they're on vacation. So I fill in, and it's a lot of more of a headache, and it's more work, and you get paid accordingly. Excuse me. And then I became their safety trainer. I went to the safety class and learned. We train guys to drive. I've trained a couple guys here already, and then I went to the safety course training, and we learned a whole new system of how to train guys and kind of get their mental right. Because when you're in that truck, you have to be fully aware of your surroundings at all times. Your head has to be in the game pretty much. So it's a very much pay attention job, or things go bad very fast. Excuse me. Well, I'm getting the opportunity to shadow my manager, and he's leaving to go run another site. And I basically, hopefully, if everything works out, I'm going to shadow him, learn what to do with systems and stuff like that. I've been learning that, shadow him this week, and if everything works out and they like me, then I'll become the manager at my job, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and I'm excited about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm pretty excited about doing it, but so I've been learning that stuff this week, and learning kind of the routine and what they do, and the communication and everything that we have to do and go through to be a manager at the job. So I am excited about that, and I'll let you guys know if I get it. And that's fantastic, and it comes with some perks and everything else. But so I'm excited about that. So not much going on this weekend. Next week is my daughter's birthday, Phoebe. She will be 7 next week. I can't believe it already. Phoebe is one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet in your life. I'm a dad of 4 girls. We do have a chat here. Sorry. Derp Entertainment, good to see you again, brother. You haven't been on here in a while, but good to see you. It says life after a circus game that involves zebras being tamed by a turtle. Yeah, we talked about that last week. That holding call that's what you're kind of talking about here. I'm guessing it was some bad calls in that game, but that holding call was terrible. Was it? Was it holding by the law of the land? Yes, but that's not a penalty you call unless it's egregious in that moment of the game. And I agree with you there. Terrible, terrible. Um, but I am going back to what we're talking about here. I'm a father of four girls. I have a 9-year-old, almost a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old who will be 4 next month. And um, it's pretty interesting around the Watson household here. But we plan on doing more of this podcast, and that's why I kind of want to change it to the Outspoken Network, and where it allows us to come on here and talk about more things. And I'm going to get an episode out here. I'm waiting for my buddy to be able to jump on with me and talk about live things as well. And and um, I'm waiting for him to have an opportunity to come on here and talk about other things in sports and talk about life and talk about um, goals and being a father and different things like that. So look forward to those coming up and more of those coming up as well. And um, but Derp, yeah, that was BS. I'm a Steelers fan, so it was called because Mahomes is the NFL's golden boy. It seems like it's going that way. Um, talk about baseball. I did talk about baseball. The whole first half of the show was about the Major League Baseball rule changes. Um, Derp, do you like those changes? The pitch clock, the shift, the pickoff rule. Do you like those changes? And what I've seen, um, yeah, go back and you have to go back and watch the beginning of the show because most of the show has been about baseball. But do you like the changes that are coming to baseball? Because I do. I think that what they're doing is trying to bring more excitement into baseball, putting the ball in play more with eliminating the shifts, right? Um, the pitch clock's going to make the game faster. The average baseball game was 3 hours and 4 minutes, and in the minor leagues, when they tried these things out um, with the pitch clock, the games were down to 2 hours and 39 minutes instead of 3 hours and 4 minutes. When they added the no pickoff rule in base, or not the no pickoff, but the pickoff rule of a pitcher can only have 2 pickoffs, um, a plate appearance, that it's allow bases to be stolen more and stuff like that. So I like those rules. Honestly, the pitch clock is concerning, but could be entertaining. But the shift, yeah, I'm glad that's gone. I'm glad it's gone too. Um, I felt like that was the biggest disadvantage to the hitters in baseball, and it's become I'm going to hit a home run or strikeout type of game because you can't put the ball in play a lot of times. To go back, like I said, and watch the beginning of this I think like 15, 20 minutes of the beginning of the show was all about the baseball rule changes, and I'm excited about baseball this season. I'm a Texas Ranger fan. I'm excited about the pitching staff we have. So and the money we've been spending. But who are you a fan of, real quick, Derp? Who's your team in baseball? As I sip on my Pepsi. Yeah, but and my co-host Craig is a San Francisco Giants fan, and he loves baseball's his favorite sport. Football is my favorite sport, but we do discuss most sports on the show, and we're going to get into that going forward here because football is over, except unless you want to watch XFL and USFL, which we will check out. But I have to say anything good about my team. That's all right. You're Indians/Guardians fan. That's all right. Hey, you know, honestly, the last couple years for me as baseball fan, I just want my team to be somewhat relevant and better to watch, and they haven't been the last couple years. I do like the moves we made. I like I like the pitching staff. I like the head coach who we went out and got, and the changes we made. That's shown some excitement for the team, and that's just kind of all I'm looking for. I'm hoping we're competitive this year, make that step. And the Indians, the Guardians. If you want to be politically correct or whatever, I prefer Indians, but it doesn't matter to me. But the Guardians, they, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be a very good baseball team. Unfortunately, they're dirt for you. But we'll get more into baseball as it gets started. But thank you, Derp, for coming on here and commenting, and I appreciate that, Derpy Entertainment there. I got not much going on this weekend as far as my plans. I do have to work tomorrow. But I'm excited about the opportunity I have at work. I got some Phoebe's birthday's next Wednesday. She'll be turning 7, so I got to go get a cake and plan on that. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm grateful for anybody that takes time out of their busy schedules to watch the show. If you want to share us around, then oh man, did they? Derp, I'm sorry. He says they won the division last season as the youngest team in baseball. See, that kind of shows you. That kind of shows you. That kind of shows you how much baseball I've watched the last couple of years. Like I said, the Rangers have not been relevant really, so I've not paid a whole lot of attention as I usually do to the sport. But I'm going to change that this season. Thanks for filling me in. I did not know the Indians were a competitive baseball team, but that's good to know. Yeah, I'm not a Yankee fan either. So, but all right, Derp. Like I said, thank you so much for coming on. This is the end of the show, but go back and listen to the front half of the episode. It's going to tell you about what I really feel about the Major League Baseball rule changes and why I think they're a good thing for the sport of baseball. Have a fantastic weekend. God bless. And remember, guys, keep it outspoken.